What's up, nerds? So, just finished the episode 4 of Percy Jackson. Sorry I'm a day late and a dollar short, but I totally spaced on the fact that it drops on Tuesday nights at 9. I thought it dropped on Wednesdays. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I have to cover it on Wednesdays because I'm at work when it drops. Because, Disney needs to figure out their drop schedule because I am not a fan of it at all. I get it that they're trying to figure it out and everything, but honey. So I'll get into my breakdown and I'll give you my thoughts during the breakdown, and then I'll give you my overall review. But just real quick, I thought this episode was pretty good to start out with. There's a little bit of, there's a couple of things that I'm just but for overall, this episode was good. All right, so let's get into this breakdown and then back into the review. Percy, Annabeth, and Grover continue west on a train. So this scene, I didn't mind all this train stuff, but if you remember in the books, they travel by truck, and and that's where Percy talks to a zebra. And there's all these circus animals, and they end up letting him out and everything. I liked that part from the book just because it gave you a sense. It told you how Poseidon was the god of horses, and how horses came from the sea and all that stuff like that. But I liked that from the book, and I'm kind of bummed that it wasn't here. It's not a scene that needs to be in there, and it's fine that it wasn't. I'm not complaining about it. I am just saying that I'm a little bummed that it wasn't there, but again, not a deal breaker, you know what I'm saying? The trio discover that their cabin was ransacked by a woman who reveals herself as Echidna and is trained a young chimera that poisons Percy. So this part, I'll talk about this scene a little bit later because there was two things in this scene, this opening sequence on the train, that I question with the messaging of this, but we'll get into that in a little bit. But I thought that this part with Echidna, and I'll talk about the overarching theme kind of this episode, I thought this was pretty good. I liked Echidna and her talk about a mother. I thought that was good, and how, she raises her kid. Plus, I also liked how she's like, the fear that you feel and everything, that's the hunt, and that's how they smell you. And I was like, that's so good. That's what Daddy likes. I like that a lot. After the train arrives in St. Louis, the trio seek refuge inside the Gateway Arch, as it is a monument to Athena. So they get to the archway in St. Louis, which is in the book, but this is the thing. All the stuff that took place on the train doesn't take place on a train, or it takes place on the top of the archway, because that part's a lot longer in the book, which, again, not complaining. I'm totally fine that it took place on that train. That part didn't bother me at all. I just, and I'll say this later on, but I felt like the fight sequence with the chimera got cut short, and I'm bummed about that, because I would have liked to seen that a little bit more of that. But, again, not a deal breaker. This episode was still pretty good. Percy begins to deteriorate from the poison, so Annabeth decides to bring him to the top of the arch in order to seek help from Athena. I did like the part where they're splashing him with the water and everything. That was pretty funny, because I was like, you're just making him wet. You're not helping the situation. Annabeth then learns from Echidna's monster language that Athena was embarrassed after Medusa's head arrived on Mount Olympus, and has allowed Echidna and the Chimera to enter the arch. So this part, when they start doing the parcel tongue or whatnot, I was the whole time she was like, and I was like, what's going on here, Slytherin? I'm so confused. And then I do remember the monster language and everything. It just took me a hot minute. But then they get into by the way, the archway in St. Louis, you do get into those little balls and everything with the chairs, and your knees are practically knocking together with strangers. And I've been to the St. Louis Archway. It's fun for a one-time thing, but I wouldn't do it again. I mean, maybe I would with my kids, but I wouldn't do it again if the one time was fine for me. Percy decides to stay behind and allow Grover and Annabeth to escape. This part was fine. I do like how he was all like, here, take this sword. And then he kind of he's swooshed, and then he put it back, because a small piece of me was afraid that they would change it from the books and have Annabeth stay behind to fight the Chimera, because I'm fearing, my biggest fear about this show is that they're going to have Percy Jackson, because I've already said it before in reviews, that they're going to have him take a step back to let Annabeth overpower him and shine through. And I'm just like, your main character can't take a back seat. That's just, or your show will fail, in my opinion. So I'm happy that they did that. After an unsuccessful battle with the Chimera, Percy falls from the arch and is pulled into the Mississippi River. Again, the Chimera looks great. I would have liked to have seen Echidna turn into her monster form. That would have been nice. I mean, I'm not saying it had to happen, but it would have been nice. I don't need to hear it from the horse's mouth, but you know what I'm saying. Also, I thought that if in the book, because I just recently read it, he doesn't fall from the archway. He jumps because I think he hears Poseidon yell jump. So he jumps out the archway, out a window, I believe, or maybe it was a hole, and gets into the river. So that part was fine. That it's fine that they changed it. I wasn't upset about that. Again, I'm not upset about it. They just changed it, but it was still good. There, he meets a Nereid who helps him realize that he can breathe underwater. And that was the end of the show. I have to say the Nereid was or the Nereid, I don't know how to say that, but I have a feeling, I wish they could have made her a little bit more pronounced, because the whole time I was squinting, I was like, what is that? Is that like a jellyfish? What's going on here? Plus the whole, like, she tells him how to breathe underwater and everything, and I'm all like, that happens in the book, but there's more that happens in the book. I'm all like, you could have explained some stuff. I did like how when he fell, how the little thing came up and grabbed him and everything. I was like, oh, you could have showed that a little bit, like from a far away view of him like getting sucked into it. It's fine that they didn't. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying. So overall, this episode was pretty good. There was some stuff that I really liked in this episode, and there was some stuff that I was just like I rolled my eyes a couple of times at that first scene on the train, and I'll get to that in just one second, but I want to talk about the good things that I like. First off, this episode was basically about like mothers and everything. No, I am your mother! I am your mother! I gave birth to you! And we talk about, by the way, Percy Jackson's mom. I don't know where they got this actress from, but she is awesome. The one scene she had in this episode, the very beginning, when they're in the pool and she's all like, and she's getting frustrated with him because he won't swim, and she's like, you have to learn this because there might be a time when I won't be here and you need to know this. And as a parent, I'm not a mother, but I'm a dad. But as a parent, I was like, man, this actress is making me feel the feels as far as being a parent goes. And I loved how when he's like, just breathe, Mom. And then he was like, you're always going to be here. And I was like, oh my gosh, the naivete of children. But that was just so good. It was so, so good. And then you also had Echidna, who is also a mother, and her motherhood was just obviously a little different than Percy Jackson's mom, Sally Jackson. But I did like her very much and everything. And then also they did talk a little bit about Athena, which was fine. I'm interested to see when they show these gods, when these gods are popping in and everything. But we'll see where it goes from here. But the overarching mother theme was really nice. I really liked that. Also, I just have to say, the dreams with Kronos are very good. I would argue they're my favorite scenes in every episode. Anytime they have that Kronos scenes, I'm just like, man, it's small. It's but it's so, like, every time it comes up, I'm all like, oh, what's happening? What's going down, Kronos? And it's so good. They're doing a really good job from page to screen with those scenes, and I do hats off. As I said before, the changes from the books to the screen are fine, but because they're not needed. Like I said before, like the zebra thing where he talks to the zebra, not needed, but and it's fine. Like I said, I just would have liked to have seen it, but because I didn't see it, I'm fine. I'm not complaining about it. I'm just saying there was some changes. Again, I also mentioned it before that the fight sequence with the Chimera could have been longer. I would have liked to have seen that, which brings me over to the CGI is still pretty good on this show. I mean, that Chimera looked great. My only, complaint is I didn't get to see it more. And I understand why we didn't get to see it more is probably because budget. They can only afford so much CGI in every episode. But again, I would like to have seen him fight that Chimera just a little bit longer. I mean, they've got him on the Chimera on the poster, and we only got to see him for a hot minute, 2 minutes tops. So it was a bummer, but at the same time, the CGI was a good job. They did a good job with that. Acting. I want to talk about all the acting now. So first off, I want to talk about the acting with the actress that played the Echidna. I already talked about Sally Jackson, but I want to talk about the actress that played Echidna. She did great. She did such a good job. I don't have her name here, but she did a good job. I enjoyed her speech about being a mother, like I said before, on the train. I just enjoyed her throughout this entire episode. Like when she was on the arch and she was all like, you would have done this, this, and this, but nobody was here to teach you that. And I just thought that she did a great job. Did anybody get Nikki Haley vibes from her like I did? I got some other people vibes too, like other actresses and stuff, but maybe everything's so political now that you can't get away from seeing a political person. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, she kind of reminds me of Nikki Haley. Maybe it's just me. All right, so let's talk about the main three, you guys. So the first one we're going to talk about is this Scobell kid, Walker Scobell as Percy Jackson. Again, still top notch. He's doing a great job. I liked his acting in this one. I really did like where they were splashing the water on him. That made me like chuckle a little bit, but and he's just like and everything. It was that he's doing a good job. I have nothing bad to say about him. All right, bow over to Aryan Simhadri. I don't know how to say his name, and I don't care. As Grover, still not the best actor, you guys. I'm sorry. I'll die on this hill unless he changes his ways. He is not that good of an actor. Every time he talks, I'm all like, oh, here we go again. What a bad freaking choice. I mean, yeah, I get you want diversity, but you could have hired somebody with talent. You know what I'm saying? Because I am not feeling him. I just don't like him as Grover. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. He's bad. He's just bad. Okay, then finally, Leah Jeffries as Annabeth Chase. Okay, again, Leah Jeffries is good she's a good actress. I can see why they hired her. She's definitely good at it. But this is not Annabeth. I said this last time. I'm going to say it again. This is not Annabeth from the books, and she's becoming more unlikable to me. I mean, like, she's just so angry, and I'm like getting to the point where I just don't want to be around her, you know? And I'll get to that in just a second because she's just, it's just, she's not empathetic like Annabeth is in the books, and she's just, I don't know, man. She kind of just like rubs me the wrong way, and I wish that they would have played her off like she is in the book. But, Riordan and his wife have wanted to change things up and make more modern, and I'm all like, But speaking of making things modern, about 2 scenes, all right? Okay, so the first scene I want to talk about is, and they're both on the train, so we'll talk about the first one that happens, and that's this one.
Hey, look at that. Are those
centaurs?
No one even knows they're there.
There used to be herds of them everywhere.
What happened to them?
Humans. A few thousand years ago, the god of the wild, Pan, disappeared. And ever since, without Pan to protect the natural world, humans have been trying really hard to chip away at it.
Okay, so you know what they really wanted to say right there, right? It's because of climate change. Humans are ruining the planet, so, let's start gluing our hooves to highways, okay, you guys? It was a little ridiculous. I mean, he's like, as soon as he's like, you know what the reason is, right? Climate change. It's. I was just like, okay, we got it. Okay, pan. So the second scene that I want to talk about is this one right here.
Wait, what time you left the cabin?
Are we under arrest?
I don't think you want to take that tone with me, little girl.
Are we under arrest?
So as soon as this part happened, I was expecting this to happen next.
Why are you in riot gear? We don't see no riot here.
So I was just waiting for some like it was like, oh girl, you don't know who you talking to kind of thing. It was just very annoying. It was subtle messaging, but I'm just like, yo, not interested. Again, I'll say it again, not interested. So those were the 2 things that I just kind of rolled my eyes at. I was just like, oh, get the fuck out of here, Disney. You can go fuck yourselves for sure. So that is my review of this and my breakdown of this episode. If you liked it, cool. If you didn't, I don't care. So, but yeah, so far the show, this was a good episode. The show is pretty good so far. I just have some small concerns that I just go, I don't think that they're, you might want to modernize stuff and update it, but it's not like the book was exactly like behind the times. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, all right, that's what I got for you guys. Tell me what you guys think about this episode. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What was your favorite part? Who was your favorite character in this episode? What are you looking forward to? Which Greek god is your favorite out of all of them? Mine's Poseidon. It's always been Poseidon. I have a thing with water. I don't know why. I hate the water, but I love water, anything. Anyways, okay, but tell me what you guys think. Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys on my next Percy Jackson breakdown and review. You guys have a good week. Bye.